Hello everybody, I'm Max Holliday. I am the designer of Neo Grimorium. What we're going to do today is do a playthrough of the whole game from first turn to scoring. This is going to be a 3-player game. I'm here with Chris and Isaac, who have been my developers and playtesters for the 1.5 years we've been working on this game. So they know it pretty well, so this is going to go pretty fast. What we have is we have the basic setup of our denizens. We use 11 of the 18. The other 7 get set aside, and then we can use them in a different or in an additional game later. Each game, these are randomly distributed, so every game is very different. So lots of replayability. The other thing we're playing with is we're playing with the book tokens that are 3D printed that will be available as an add-on. They'll be limited to 100 sets because I will be 3D printing them myself, which we've estimated at about 2 months, so that should be fun for me. And those are going to be in replacement of the regular discs that will come with the game for everybody who doesn't want the add-on. Let's just set those aside. The reason we're using them is that they're just a little bit easier to see on camera when they're on the denizens. Okay. The other thing we need to set up is the spells. So we're going to start with the spell row. I've kind of set it up so that we see 4 of the 5. So we've got air, fire, influence, and water. And just by chance, we ended up with gold on top. So that's what the gold looks like. You can also see that we have those on the denizens as well. Okay, we're going to be playing 12 rounds, so that's a full game. The one thing that doesn't come with the game that we are playing with are these little trays from Board Game Geek Store. They're just really convenient for keeping the room tokens, so just be aware that those are not something that are an add-on or come with the game or anything. Okay, so we've decided that Chris is going to be our first player, so he's going to take 4 runes. I'm going to be second player, so I'm going to get 5. And Isaac is going to be the third player, so he's going to start with 6. Okay, we'll just get going. Chris, you can go ahead.
I'm going to play my influence, and I'm going to pay, I have 1, I need 3, so I'm going to go 2, 3, to go there.
Okay, so the reason why I had to pay 3 was because it costs 2 plus the row cost of 1, so it's a total of 3. What this does is it provides him with 1 air, 1 fire, and 1 water. Okay, that means that I've got to decide what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to do something different. I'm going to choose to adorn. So what adorn means is I'm going to take out my little score sheet. I'm going to pick from the available adornments. Right now I only have the first 3. I have to have gold and 2 of these other resources. Right now I don't have any of them, but I can spend my runes. So to get my gold I have to spend 2. And then I'm going to spend 1 for my air and 1 for my water. And I'm going to fill in this one, which is going to give me 2 fire for a future turn. Get those over there. Okay, Isaac.
Alright, I'm going to transcribe. So I'm going to spend 2 ruins for a water and an air. And I'm going to buy this influence.
Okay. And transcribe just automatically puts it right onto a card. So it has to be a card in play, so that's why I put it on his transcribe card. So you can see that now that card is worth 2 instead of 1. Okay.
I'm going to scry for 1. And I am going to reserve this one for a future turn.
Okay. So what the reserve is his familiar, which is the little card with the paw prints, can reserve 1 card if he replaces it with a card when he scries. So that's Okay, I'm going to. I've got to influence. I've got 2 influence. And I've got 1 rune, so I can do up to 3. So I'm going to choose to go on to the Elven Scryer. So what that allows me to do is it's going to provide me with 1 gold, and I immediately take the scry action, which is look at the top card, and I can replace one of the cards that are out. I'm going to replace that, and then I'm going to reserve that under my familiar. Okay, Isaac?
Alright, I'm going to influence for 3. Same place as here.
Okay.
I'm gonna cast. It costs me 1 rune to activate the cast. And then I look at my set, of which I have 1 of each, so I get 2 runes back.
I am going to play my focus. I have 2 fire, so I'm going to fill in 2 of my focus hexes. What this does is it unlocks future columns. Right now I don't quite have enough because I need all 3 of these filled in, and I've only got 2, but it gets me closer. Go ahead, Isaac.
Right. I'm going to scry for 1. The top card. I want to save this one.
Okay. So he's reserving. What this black icon is this is actually a wild. So when you play a card with that, you can use it on each turn as 1 element.
For my turn, I'm going to put this card on. So it costs 2 water and 1 air. I have the 1 air, I have the 1 water. I spend a rune for the other water. And I'm going to add it to my influence card.
Okay, I'm going to take the scry action. I have 1 and 2 gold, so I get to do it twice. So I look at my first card. That's really good, but I've already got a card reserved, so I can't reserve it. But I'm going to replace this card, which immediately moves this to the bottom of the deck. Okay, I can do it one more time. I'm going to get rid of this wild because I am not going to be able to get it first. Okay, go ahead.
Alright, I'm going to place this for my reserve on my influence. And I need to place 1 rune because I'm missing 1 air.
Okay.
I am going to transcribe. I have the air and the water, so I'm going to put it on my scry. And then we need to flip over a new card. Max, it's your turn.
Okay. I have no more runes, and I have no more actions because the 2 action cards that I have in my hand I can't actually do. So I'm going to bind my pages. I have to pay runes for the cards I have left in my hand, but I have no runes, so I'm good there. And then I'm going to pick up my 4 cards in play, which is going to give me 4 runes. It goes back to my supply. We remove 1 coin from the supply. That counts down to the end of the game, and these are returned to my hand. Okay.
And I'm going to adorn for 2 water. Now it's your turn.
I am going to adorn as well, but I am going to adorn 1 gold, 1 air, 1 water for my 2 fire.
a scry. Oh, what's a gold? Let's pull this one. And I have 2 gold, so I can do this twice. That's more like it. Let's get rid of this one. Okay, go ahead.
I'm going to place my familiar card on my adorn, which lets me do it again. And I'm going to get the 2 fire with 1 air and 1 water.
Nice.
I'm going to use my familiar to transcribe again. I'm going to take this card and I'm going to add it to my influence.
Really kind of want to do that. I'm going to transcribe. I'm going to transcribe this card. I do not have any water, so that's going to cost me a room, but I do have the gold. And I think I'm going to put it on my scry. Flip over another card.
Alright. I'm going to focus for 3 because I have 2 right here and 1 over there. Alright, it's your turn.
I am also going to focus, and I am focusing for 2, 4, 6, 7. And I am going to pay a room to get number 8.
Okay. And so the reason why he paid an extra room was because it kind of in a glare. You pull it over just a little
Yep.
bit. Here, let me see it.
Here, I can show it.
Yeah. So the reason why he paid an extra room is because once this is filled in, now he can adorn in this row, or this column, or this column. So that just gives him more options, and it's also worth additional points at the end of the game. Okay. I have a few options. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my reserved card from under my familiar, and I'm going to place it on my scry. I've got the gold, I do not have the air, so that's going to cost me room. Oops.
Right, I'm going to cast, so it's going to cost me 1 rune. And I'm going to have 1 set, so 2 back.
Okay, and what we mean by set is, a set is one of each resource, so a gold, an air, a fire, and a water, which he has the gold, has the water, has the air, has the fire. So that gives him 2 runes back.
I have no cards. I've used my familiar. I am going to bind pages. I've played all my cards, so I get 6 runes. We remove a round token, and I pick my cards up.
Okay, so I'm going to play influence. I've got 1 and 2, so I'm going to do 3 and 4. Go. Okay, and what I'm going to do is, because I have influenced here, I'm going to influence there. Cost is 2 plus 2. Okay, and that'll be my turn.
I'm going to bind pages for 6 because I put all my cards and all my actions.
I am going to influence. I have 1, 4, 5. To go here, which gives me a transcribe action. I now have 2 air and 2 water, and I am going to actually take this one and add it to my influence.
Okay. Okay, my turn is going to be Adorn. I'm going to use my air, so air and air. I've got my gold, so I'm going to get some water now. Okay, go ahead.
So I'm going to influence for 5, I have to spend 4 ruins, because I only have 1 influence, and that's going to be able to make me place right there. And I have enough to get this one.
Yep.
I'm going to scry. Oh, wait, first I'm going to replace that. Then I'm going to scry. So now I'm going to draw the card, and I am going to put it here and reserve this one underneath my familiar. Okay.
I think I'm going to use my familiar to do a transcribe, which I'm going to pull this card and put it on my influence. As you can see, it covers up my previous icon, which can happen, but it replaces a 1 with a 2. You can see that? So, that's a good move, I think. Okay, go ahead.
Is turn. I'm going to scry for 1. I'm going to take this one
Into your reserve.
into my reserve underneath my familiar.
Okay.
I am going to perform an adorn action, and I am going to use my 1 gold and my 2 air. 1, 2, 3, 2. Fill in this, thereby giving me 3 air and 3 water.
Okay. So I'm going to play my focus, which I have now. I have 4, 5, 6 fire. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have to begin from the start. So I have to go 1, 2, even though they're already filled in. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Go ahead.
I'm going to transcribe this card. I have 4 water, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have to spend 2 ruins to add up to my other 6 water.
So I now have 1, 2, 3 on the water. I have 1, 2, 3 on the air, so I can add this card. And we're going to put it here to make it worth more points.
Okay. I only have 1 card. I can't actually play it. So I'm going to bind pages. So if I had any runes, I'd have to pay 1 for the card left in my hand. I don't, so we'll remove 1 token, and I will collect 5 runes for the cards I have in play. Yeah, hand me 5, please. Okay, go ahead.
I'll now play this card for my familiar, which costs me 1 air and 1 gold. I'm going to put it in my influence. Your turn.
I am going to actually use my familiar to adorn again, and I'm going to fill in the last spot in this column, which allows me to then cross out one of these that's been all the way filled in, and I'm gonna fill in, or cross off this one. I also get 2 runes for completing the column.
And the reason why he crosses those off is it's worth additional points, but he no longer has to count those when he focuses, so it increases the power of his focus. Okay, I've got to do something interesting. Can't afford any of that gold. So I'm going to scry. Still have 2 gold now. So I'm going to do 1. I'm going to replace this one. I'm not going to reserve it. And then I'm going to replace this one, which I'm going to reserve under my familiar. Okay.
So my turn, and I'm going to focus for 4, 5, and then I'm gonna spend 3.
You've got a wild there as well.
Oh, wow, there as well. So I'm going to have to spend 2. So I get 1 back. And this is going to mark off. Your turn.
I'm going to transcribe. I have 1 gold, 2 gold, 2 runes to make the 3rd gold.
Okay. Ouch. I'm going to play transcribe. I'm going to grab this fire card and just put it on my transcribe. I've got the water and I've got the gold. So.
Alright, I'm going to adorn to fill out this. So I have 2 air over there.
Mm-hmm.
And this will let me cross off my 5.
Okay. And it gives you 2 runes as well.
Yep.
I am going to focus. I have 2, 4, 6, 7 fire. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay, I'm going to focus. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, go ahead.
Alright, I'm going to influence again. To the look, I have 4, 5, 6. I have 6 influence, which will let me go here for free.
I'm going to cast. I spend 1 rune. 3 gold is my lowest one, so I have more than that of air and fire and water, so I get 6 runes back. Okay, next.
I think I'm going to adorn. Yeah. So I've got 1 water. I'm technically making a mistake, but that's okay. I have to pay 1 for my other water so that I can get this extra air, which completes a column. Just going to let me cross that off and give me 2 more ones. Okay, go ahead.
Alright, I'm going to cast, so that costs me a rune, and I get 6 back.
Nice.
I have to bind pages. I have played all my cards, so I get 6. And we move another round. Max, your turn.
Okay. Now, I'm going to pay my influence. I have got a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pay 1. Influence up there. Cost a total of 6. Okay, go ahead.
I'm going to bind pages because I have played all my actions.
Okay. So you get 6 for each card
Yep.
you have in play.
I am going to scry. And I am going to reserve this one for my turn.
I'm going to place my reserved card on my influence. And that'll be my turn.
Right, I'm going to influence for 3, so I have to spend 1. And that will let me place a book right here. I can't cast anything, so I just get the 1 gold.
No, you've got enough. So you've got
I have a
1,
gold.
2,
He has a wild.
but you have a wild that
Oh,
you can
yeah.
use as a gold.
Yep.
So that's
Yeah.
1 set.
One
So
set.
that'll get you 2 runes. Oh, you've got a gold here.
Oh, and a gold there.
So that'll get you 4 runes because you've got 2 sets.
2
now.
sets. Yep. Thank you.
Okay. I am going to influence. I have 2. I'm spending a total of 6 to go here. And that's my turn.
Okay.
One, 2, 3, 4.
Going to transcribe. I'm going to grab this fire and put it on my scry.
Alright. I'm going to scry twice. So I'm going to discard this one.
Okay.
Place that one, and I'm going to go again, and I'm going to save this one.
Okay.
I am going to take my action. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 water. I have the 2 fire. I have the 1 air. And I'm going to add this to my scry.
And what do you know? I'm actually going to get to play my 6th card this round. So I have to give up 1 room. I have 2 full sets. So 2 gold, 2 air, 2 fire, 2 water. That'll give me 4 back. Okay, go ahead.
Alright. And I'm going to transcribe this card.
Okay.
Your turn.
I am going to cast. I'm going to spend 1 rune. I have 4 gold. I have 4 fire. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 air. So I believe that gives me 8.
Okay, I am binding pages this round. I don't have anything in my hand, so I gain 6 runes back.
And we are just past the halfway point.
Okay, go ahead.
Alright, I'm going to adorn. for this. Because I have the 2 gold, 1, 2. I have the 2 water right here.
Okay.
Your turn.
I am going to nope, I'm not going to do that. I am going to adorn. It costs me 3 water, of which I have 1, 2, 3. It costs me 3 gold, of which I have 4. And I'm going to fill in this, which lets me do a transcribe for free. No, I pay for it. Sorry, it's a free transcribe action.
Yes.
And I'm going to do this one. So out of the water, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay. Mm. I think I am going to scry. I've got 2 of them, but I think I'm just going to take 1 of them, and I'm going to reserve that. Go ahead.
Right. My turn. I'm going to focus for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6, and I'm going, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I am going to transcribe, and I am going to take this card, and I'm going to put it on my scry to build up its worth.
I'm going to adorn. I have 2 gold, air and water. So I'm going to get this 3 fire checked off. Okay, Isaac, go ahead.
I'm going to play this card from my familiar onto my focus. Right. Your turn.
I am going to adorn with my familiar, and I am going to spend my water, air, and 2 gold to cross off my 3 fire.
Okay, I am going to influence for 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6. Oops. Go there. So I know how many people are on them. Okay, go ahead.
Right. I'm going to influence. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'd spend 1 ruin for influence to influence. Oh, I can't. There's too many people there.
Right, there's already 2 here, and there's already well, you're already here, but there's already 2 here. So really, the only place you can go is there.
Can also go here.
Oh,
Yeah.
I meant on the second
Yeah.
floor.
Yeah, so you wouldn't actually have to spend this room.
Yep. I won't have to spend that. Thank you. I can't scry because I already used my familiar, but I'm going to take the gold.
Could
Well, you
scry to
can
just switch out
still
the card.
you can
You just
still
don't
look at
reserve
the
it.
card. You just can't reserve it.
I'm fine with what I got.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to focus. So 2 and 3, so 5, 9, 10, 11 fire. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Okay. I really wished you had scribe, because I really don't want any of that stuff. It's all a bunch of bollocks at this point. Okay, guess I'm going to focus. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 fire. Wilds yet. So we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, go ahead, Isaac.
Right, I'm going to cast. So I'm going to cast for 4. So 8.
1, 2, 3. You have to pay a rune.
Yep.
So here, spend your 1 to get your 8 back. I am out of action, so I have to bind pages. So remove that. I get 6. Pick these up. Matt, it's your turn.
I'm going to take this and put it on my influence for my turn. So you can go ahead.
I'm going to bind pages for 6.
Okay.
Thank you.
And I'm also going to pick this up.
Okay. Yes, so what that is that's a bind pages action. When you bind pages, you can pick up one of the tokens that are out here.
I'm going to scry. I have 2, 3 gold potentially. I'm going to put this one down in lieu of this. I'm not going to reserve that. That's my first draw. My second draw, I am going to put down this one. Oh wait, no, sorry. I'm going to put down, replace this one so I can reserve this one.
Okay.
And then I am going to use my third one, and I am going to replace this one.
Okay. I really like that action, Chris.
You're welcome.
So I'm going to transcribe. I'm going to take that and put it on my scry. Okay, Isaac, you're up.
I'm going to transcribe, and I am going to transcribe this card. So I have 1, 2, 2, and I'm going to pay 4 to get my heir.
So I am going to use my action to 1 air, 1 gold to put this on my scry. And that's it for me.
I'm going to use my familiar to take my transcribe action again, and I'm going to take this to fire and fill up my scry. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to influence. So I need to spend, actually I don't need to spend anything. And spend it right there, so that gives me a water, air, and the ability to transcribe again.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to transcribe this and fill up and transcribe.
Okay.
I am going to transcribe with the 2 gold. That allows me to take this card to fill up my scry.
Okay. I will be casting for my final action. And let me do some math, because I did do it. 1, 2, 3 gold, tons of fire, got 1, 2, 3, 4 water, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 air, so that gives me 4, so I'm going to get a total of 8 runes back. Chris, could you hand me? Okay, thank you very much. Go ahead.
All right. I'm going to scribe, and I'm just going to take this one.
Okay.
I'm going to adorn. I have the 2 air and, sorry, the 3 air and the 3 gold. I have 1, 2, 3 gold. So I'm going to put it there. Next.
Okay. I have to bind pages.
How many runes do you get?
6. Okay, go ahead, Isaac.
Okay, I'm going to put this for my familiar on my transcribe. Alright, you can do it.
I am going to adorn again. 2 air, 1 water, 3 gold to do this, which fills in that column, which allows me to cross off this row and collect 6 runes. Next.
Okay. Going to adorn. I've got the 2 gold. I have the 2 air. I'm going to fill in this to give me some more influence.
And I'm going to focus, so that's 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 11, so 2, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to spend 8 of these so I can max out my row.
Okay.
I'm going to influence 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I'm just going to go here to cast, which my sets, air, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, water, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, fire, I have more than 4, and gold, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, so that gives me 8. Oh, one more. I'm done. Next.
Okay. Think about that. So I'm going to scry. Take that, reserve it. I'm going to scry again, and up that one. I can do it one more time, so let's do it one more time. Get rid of that one. Okay. Go ahead.
Alright. So I'm going to adorn. So I'm going to adorn my transcribe, which is 5. So I have 1, 2, 3, just 3. So I have to spend 4 gold or 4 ruins to get the 2 extra gold I need. So get this, and then I'm going to transcribe this one, which gives me a fill.
Nice.
I'm going to cast. I have to spend 1 rune. I have in air, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In water, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to use my wild as 5. For gold, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For fire, I have more than, so that will give me 10 runes. Next.
Okay, I am going to influence, which is going to be here. And that will immediately give me a cast. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 gold, at least 5 fire, 1, 2, 3, 4 water, and 1, 2, 3, 4 air. So that'll give me 8. Okay, go ahead.
Alright. I'm going to transcribe it, or I'm going to adorn again. Do the same thing. Spend my 4. And I'm going to
Transcribe.
transcribe. Alright, your turn.
I'm gonna focus. So fire, I have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm using my wild for 12, and then 1 on, so 13. So 3, it's basically going to let me fill in the rest of my focus.
I'm going to transcribe. I'm going to grab this fire and put it on my influence. Go ahead.
Right, I'm going to cast. So I have
So you have to give up a room.
Yep, give up a room. Right, so I have wilds can be anything. So alright, so 4, 1, 2, oh my gosh, 3.
3.
So I need 2. So these are me wins, because I have actually just it's 8 or 4 sets. So it's
Okay.
8. Thank you.
Okay, I have to bind pages.
Okay, well, that means I'm kind of stuck with what I have to do, which is going to be focus. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Fire, which is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and one more room to max that out. Okay, Isaac, your turn.
Alright, and I'm binding pages.
Which will
Okay.
end the game.
Which will end the game. What would normally happen in the game is you would play one round to make sure that all the turns are even, but because Chris was our starting player, we just end the game. Okay, so let's count up our totals. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll start at 1, count up each one of our scores, and then we'll move to the next one. Okay, so the first one is you get half a point per rune. So count up your runes and divide it by 2, basically. Okay, Chris, what did you have?
I had 50 runes for 25 points.
Okay. I had 31 runes for 15 points.
I had 14 runes for 7 points.
Okay. Now the next one is each one of the hexes that you have filled in is worth 1 point. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, okay, we all know what we're going to get. It's going to be 24 because
Yeah.
that's the max number of runes, or hexes, I mean. And we all filled them in. Okay, the next one is each set of crossed off hexes is worth 4 points. I've got 1.
I have 2 sets for 8.
Is it
1 set for 4.
4? Okay, and then 2 points for each adornment you have filled in. So. Yes.
I had 7 for 14.
Okay, I had wait, 5 for 10. Sorry, my brain is shut down there for a second.
All good. I was 6 for 12.
Okay. Okay, now comes the denizens per row. What this is we all score 2 points for each one of our markers on the first row, and then we're going to score 4 points for each one of our markers on the second row, and 8 points for each one of our markers on the third row.
So I have 12 points.
So I've got 20 points.
And I have 18.
Okay. Next, we count up our cards. Okay, so this one is a little bit tricky. So what you have is we have a little list here on the score sheet. For each page that only has one spell icon, you get 0 points. So I'll just go ahead and get rid of those 3. For each one that has 2 spell icons, like this one, it's worth 1 point. So that's worth 1. If you have 3 spells, you get 3 points. If you have 4 spells on a page, like I do here, that one is worth 5 points. So I've got a total of 6 so far. And then 5 is worth 7 points, and then filling in the whole card is worth 10 points. So I've got a total of 16.
21 for me.
And 21 for me as well.
Wow, you guys are killing me. Okay, so now we can just total up and figure out what that's going to be. Okay, Chris, what did you get?
104.
104. I got 89.
And I got 86.
86, okay. So Chris myrtleized us. But I'm really not surprised. I counted about 4 serious mistakes as I was playing. So, but some of that was I was trying to take different actions to show things because it's a playthrough. But yes, that's Neo Grimorium. Thanks for watching. I hope you back us on Kickstarter. We'll be there the month of March. And I hope you enjoy the game. Thank you.